Do Well, Do Good. This show is all about uncovering the story behind a brand, finding those brands that are really making profit with purpose. It is Oyster Week here in New York. What better way than to actually celebrate and eat oysters with the founder of Oyster Week himself, Kevin Joseph. You're also the founder of Empire Oysters.
I am.
Why did you think it was so special and important for New York to celebrate oysters in this way?
New York is a singular place in the world relative to its history. This is the big oyster, not just the big apple. The reason I'm here is to create New York Oyster Week as a vector to educate people about, in a fun way, so that people will respect and appreciate what oysters mean and how delicious they are and how good they are and how many jobs it creates and all of these great things.
Now we're celebrating a full week of oysters, but it's not just about the fact that they taste good. There's actually a lot more behind oysters. So talk to me about why oysters are so badass.
Oysters are badass for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, they're a whole live, raw thing. What else is there that you can say that about in all of the foods that we eat? I mean, even very nutritious things, of course, aren't really alive. Caviar or other luxury items aren't alive. I shouldn't say alive, extremely fresh. When we shuck them, we keep them alive until we shuck them and serve them. They're great for the environment because oysters are a food that, in the process of growing them, we are actually creating environmental benefits. We're sequestering nitrogen. We're sequestering. If they're grown in a place where the water's dirty, you can really clean the water up. You can't eat the oyster in that case, but where they're farmed, where the water is pristine, they're still providing environmental services, habitat for up to 200 other species, microscopic and not so microscopic. So they're the cornerstone species that create this habitat where other species that are higher in the food chain really depend on that. And that's, really very few. Most farming homogenizes the landscape. Oyster farming diversifies the landscape.
So Empire Oyster is actually curating a whole selection of different oysters, the best quality oysters that you get to taste with you.
Always and all the time. So, when people hire me to do an oyster bar for their private event, or if a restaurant is asking me to come in and help them, consult with them on how to have a better raw bar program, I'm always looking for diversity. It's almost exactly like
wine or cheese.
Well, precisely like wine because, wine by the glass. You want diversity. You don't want 10 Sancerres. You don't want 10 Cabernets. You want one or two of, and they need to relate to each other. And they need to complement one another and be different from one another. And there also needs to be common threads. So those people that are sommeliers that create that program, and they're kind of an artist, and I try to be that for oysters.
The oyster artist at Empire Oyster. I love it. But no, I do think it's really important that we as consumers understand where our food is coming from, because then we understand the supply chain and then we can start to understand some of the issues that need to be addressed. That's why I wanted to highlight Oyster Week here on Do Well, Do Good. What would you like to leave our viewers with today?
I'd like to leave them with, an encouragement to not be intimidated by oysters, particularly raw oysters. They're a completely whole and organic and wonderful food that, look, if you don't like them raw because they're cold or they're slimy, try them cooked. We call that a gateway oyster. Try a cooked oyster dish. And, it's okay. You don't need to be, oysters can be intimidating just like wine was.
But you've got to start somewhere. Even if you've got your hands on the wrong side of the oyster, I did it on camera. Don't be afraid. Well, Kevin, thank you so much. I am excited for my crew and myself to now enjoy your event. This is a fabulous event. Thank you for inviting us. How can people find out more?
www.newyorkoysterweek.com.
There you go. Be there. I'm Lucy Norris, and you're watching Do Well, Do Good.